All right, Q&A time.
Oh, there's a Q&A.
On the CU podcast. Yes, there's a Q&A. This is from at Lord X Iscariot. The recent rise of GameCube prices on eBay and elsewhere. Discuss Ian's opinions on this relating to Luna and other systems he's seen on the rise during the pandemic.
Well, I didn't realize, but this kind of ties into what we talked about last week. The pandemic is, in terms of like prices of systems being popular, the pandemic it's definitely increased GameCube prices. I feel like every game that's on the GameCube has a potential to be a $100 game at this point. It's just weird to see stuff come in and see where the prices are going. In reality, I think a lot of the stuff on the GameCube right now is probably the popular stuff is going between 50 and 100. But with the pandemic, everything has gone up, and what I saw early on was that people wanted to play video games, and I almost feel like, just like with everything else that was going on, people's panic was influencing their decision. So, you had people going to grocery stores and, trying to panic buy 8,000 rolls of toilet paper, and you had people
panic buying meat.
And panic buying meat. Well, I had people come into the store and panic buy systems. You have a PS3? No? Well, how about a PS2? No? Well, how about this? No? Well, what do you have? I have a Sega Genesis. Well, I'm buying that Sega Genesis. And people would just buy fucking whatever.
They're thinking the internet was going to go down. They can't play games in the modern console. They got to buy whatever.
I have no idea.
Give me a Fairchild stat. I'll play anything.
But, people were definitely panicking about what they were going to do, how they were going to occupy their time.
Jesus.
And, it just didn't seem to matter what it was. We are starting to see a little bit of people starting to sell some of that stuff back off, and prices are starting to go down to normal levels. Like at least through Luna, if you were to buy a Switch, if we had one, it would be probably normal used price at this point.
Well, they are in stock,
$279 or $269 or something like that. It wouldn't last long, and we're not really seeing them, but prices are finally getting to the point where, on some of the newer stuff, because it's getting restocked, like the PS4s, the Xbox Ones, the Switches, those prices are starting to come back down to earth. And I think in enough time we'll start to see the prices on the retro systems come back down to earth. I do think the games will probably stay peaked a little bit, though, because people aren't going to necessarily want to get rid of games so quickly for less than what they paid for them. So I think it's going to be a matter of the market will make those prices fall eventually, but I think it's going to be stubborn about it. I think people are going to try to hold on to and continue to get $70 for their copy of, Super Mario Sunshine or something like that.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, that only lasts forever, and eventually people are going to start selling them. So.
Well, yeah, it'll happen eventually. I just don't think it's going to be as fast as... I think it's going to take longer than most people want.
Sure. Well, plus, like we said before, the GameCube probably has more console collectors than some of these other consoles they bought during the pandemic. So.
I hate to sound negative. It'll also be interesting to see what happens if and when there is a second wave this fall.
We're in it. We never had the end of the first.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we haven't left.
We were supposed to have a first wave and then stop. Have a second. No, it's
instead of saying a wave, I should say a surge.
Oh, a surge.
Yeah, if there's another surge, and I don't think we'll get back to the point where we are told to lock down, even if we should. But that could basically the virus is as awful as it is to say it. The longer it's around, the higher the prices are going to stay on these games.
Okay,
so that's where I stand.
So it's gonna be around for another year or so, or
yeah, I have no idea. And
that's interesting. You said people were panic buying a game console. They were that out of sorts. Were buy me something. I don't know how I'm going to spend time with myself. But get me I
had a number of people who had come in and went down through like 2 or 3 systems before finally landing on something. And this was earlier on. But yeah, people were kind of just taking whatever.
Man. There's other entertainment outlets.
Do you have a PS2? No. Do you have an Xbox? No. Fine, then I'll take this GameCube. Do you have a GameCube? No. Do you have a PlayStation 1? No. Fine, I'll take this Super Nintendo. It was just, it was very weird.
I want it right now. I'm not going to eBay. I want it right now.
Well, and I think that's a lot of it too, is maybe they were bored as shit and they wanted something to do that night, and they could have gotten whatever they actually wanted if they had gone online, but no one wants to wait because fuck, we can't go anywhere and we're bored now. So, yeah.
I wonder if board games have made a comeback during the pandemic. Now I think about it. Has there been a lot more people playing board games at home, like in families?
I don't know if there's more people playing board games, but D&D has people playing D&D almost certainly shot up during the pandemic. D&D is not that hard to run online. Other board games and stuff could be. I mean, I'm sure that digital versions of board games grew popular during this time. But, if you're on your own and you're not supposed to be going out and seeing people, well, who are you going to play board games with? Yourself?
Free Battleship. I don't know. Let's start playing Battleship against each other.
Oh, God. Battleship sucks. I hate that game.
Oh, you can just play one in your browser.
Yeah.
Basically.
So.
Well, we got to start getting our chess games going online, Ian.
Just think about that.
What's the best way to play that? Probably we'll play the MSN Messenger. Remember the Microsoft Messenger? They had the games built in. Remember that?
I never used Messenger. You were one of those few people who actually used MSN Messenger.
Well, I was on the Microsoft network. Yahoo had the games built in as well, though, I believe, back in the day. The Yahoo Messenger. They all had them actually. AOL got them near the end too, I believe. AIM had them.
Did they?
Yeah, pretty sure. Rest in peace, AIM. All right. Anything else to add here? Oh, let's see. Can I comment on this at all?
No.
No, I'm not allowed to. Or
no,
I can't
I'm just
comment?
saying I have nothing else to add.